That was crazy. Some update came and it disrupted the video, so I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna have to stick this one to each other like pop pop. You know what I'm saying? Let me read it again because when I ducked, that's when it happened. So this is the book of Titus, chapter 1, verse. I started 9 again. Holding fast to the faithful word as he had been taught, that he may be able to, by sound doctrine, both to exhort and to convince the gainsayers. For there are many unrulers and vain talkers and deceivers, especially they of the circumcision. So you got Israelites that literally know the truth, but they're lying to you on purpose. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna tell you stuff like, yeah, put your faith in, man, roll your sleeve up or something like that. And just other things, you know. Or you can eat pork. You got another doctrine dude talking about you can eat that pork. You can't eat no goddamn pork. You know what I'm saying? Also, no shrimp. You can't eat shrimp. You can't eat no shellfish. That's what the Lord said, right? Ain't you following him? You're talking about you following him, right? He did say he followed the Lord and does not. He's a liar. 1 John 2 and 4. Or is it 2 John 2 and 4? One of those two. Now it says here, verse 11. Titus 1:11. Whose mouth, I'm going to start at 10 again. For there are many unruly and vain talkers and deceivers, especially they of the circumcision, whose mouth must be stopped, who can subvert whole houses, teaching things which they ought not, for filthy lucre's sake. So they're doing it for their money. Money can make people do a lot of things, man. You know, you got shameless people. I'm saying, what do they do? Yeah, man, cool, man. You got shameless people doing what? They're actually doing things for filthy lucre's sake, man. You know, shameless. Think about it. Let's say you have a mother and your mother's on OnlyFans. That's about the time you want, especially if you're young. That's suicide. Think about that. Let that sink in. What are these young children doing nowadays? You know what I'm saying? They offer themselves. Why? Because their mother is on OnlyFans. That's a shameful thing. And of course, these kids are going to want to kill themselves, which is funny as hell. You know why it's funny? Because these females are not thinking of their legacy, what they're doing to their children's psyche. You're going to destroy your kids. So people are able to grab footage of your mother going to town with a dildo, abusing herself, gagging, knocking off them. You know what I'm saying? You know, cleaning the back of her throat, getting all that slime out of there. That's a funny sight, man. Crazy. Well, it says here, one of themselves. Right. So that's what's happening. And I had another one in my head actually. What was what? I gotta cut down that update thing because I don't want the telephone to update because I want a normal offline telephone. You know what I'm saying? This is the telephone for online. This is the telephone for doing other stuff and stuff like that. But I see that it's still trying to make me update, irritating me. So it stopped the video. So I think I was because it started at 1 right now. Again, I mean 0, but it's at 3 now. But anyway. I'm gonna hit this 15 minutes or something like that, and then I'm done. Because I need to go check that stuff out. Anyway, what was I saying again? I was saying something. Oh yeah, I think I was reading. What was I reading again? Now it says here. Oh yeah, Elijah. Right, now he was verse 11. Now it says here. Matthew 11, verse 11. Verily I say unto you, among them that are born of women, there had not risen a greater than John the Baptist. Notwithstanding, he that is least in the kingdom of heaven is greater than he. So he was so great that he can actually make infinite food, man. Infinite food. Let that sink in, man. Let that sink in. So once that World War III come, we're going to have Yahawashi and Yahawashi protecting us, Lord willing, of course. He's going to be protecting us, man. You know? Because you're going to have a lot of killer type people walking the street looking for somebody to eat. You know what I'm saying? Because once that famine kicks in, you're going to have certain people that have a different type of mentality. You know? They're going to have a different type of mentality. They already have it right now. Certain people don't have no shame just standing here having sex in front of you. Those people, they think differently. How much more do you think people like that would not shy away from actually eating other people in the time of famine? Let's say that war kicked in here, right? You're gonna have dead bodies here, dead bodies over there, messed up buildings. It's gonna be empty as a mother bus. Actually, it's a metropolis over here right now, right? It's gonna be empty. I mean, have you seen sceneries from the Ukraine areas and stuff like that? Have you seen it? I've seen it. You know, it don't look too pretty. It don't look too pretty. You know, it's empty now. It's vacant. You got animals rolling around in the city right now. There's nobody there. They're dead. And it's not even that bad because it's not even that bad as they say it is, because I've seen other places in Ukraine, business is going on around usual. It's going on as usual. You know, you see people having fun going to the beach. You be like, what? This is the land that's at war? They're lying to you again with that propaganda nonsense. All I have to do is take an image of some bad looking places in the city, and then I tell you like, this is Amsterdam, look how dirty it is, bro. I just showed you one little spot and I made you think that the whole area is like that. That's what you can do with movies. Excuse me, that's another way of witchcraft, man. That's you're bewitching people. You're bewitching people. That's sorcery. Even though you don't do magic, it's still a form of sorcery, because you're lying, you're deceiving, you're being an Edomite. Because he's a deceiver, and Esau Jacob is a supplanter. There's a difference. There's a supplant, you know what I'm saying? Because he actually supplanted him out of his birthright. He didn't deceive him. He knew what he was actually giving up. And Genesis 26 and the last verse says that thus Esau rose up and left and despised his birthright. See, he didn't want it in the first place. He didn't want it in the first place. And then he lost the blessing. And there you have it. That's it then. Bye-bye. You know? So what was I reading again? Now it is, Elijah. Now it is the book of Matthew, already with it, 11:11. But First Kings 17, it shows you that once that time comes, he's going to be able to actually give his men the power to sustain themselves. Oh yeah, I was looking for the fish for Yahawashi. So before Yahawashi came on the scene and fed like 5,000 people, fish, and he did it on two separate situations too. Did it in two separate situations. Yeah, Luke and somewhere else. Matthew 14? No. It is Matthew 14. So let me read that. This is the book of Matthew chapter 14 verse 13. Now it says here, when Yahawashi heard of it, he departed thence by ship into a desert place apart. And when the people had heard thereof, they followed him on foot out of the cities. And Yahawashi went forth and saw a great multitude and was moved with compassion toward them, and he healed their sick. That's another thing that actually the Lord is going to give unto his men to be able to do. We're going to have sick Jacob descendants, and then you're going to have the men of the Lord actually healing these people, man. You know? So verse 15. And when it was evening, his disciples came to him, saying, this is a desert place, and the time is now past. Send the multitude away, that they may go into the villages and buy themselves victuals, which is food. But Yahawashi said unto them, they need not depart. Give ye them to eat. And they said unto him, and they say unto him, we have here but 5 loaves and 2 fishes. He said, bring them hither to me. And he commanded the multitude to sit down on the grass, and took the 5 loaves and the 2 fishes and looked on heaven and blessed them. And he blessed a break and gave the loaves to his disciples and the disciples of the multitude. So he gave them, basically he blessed the fish and the bread, and then he gave it unto them, and he said like, okay, go give them. Let me read on. Now it says here, verse 20, and they did all eat and were filled, and they took up of the fragments that remained 12 baskets full. And they that had eaten were about 5,000 men beside women and children. So it was about 5,000 men beside women and children. So guess what? With 5 loaves of bread and 5 fishes. What was it? How many fishes? Let me see. 2 fish, 5 bread, 2 fish, right? Fed about 5,000 men beside the women and children. How did he do that? Well, first and foremost is the power of Yahawashi. Second, it's the same thing that Elijah did. It's the same thing that Elijah did when he came and then he blessed the food with his mouth. You know, by saying the meat, the flour shall not waste, and the oil shall not fail, or other way around. The oil shall not fail, and the flour shall not waste. One of those things. Meal. Yeah. Wherewith you can make bread. But anyway, so that didn't fail. It didn't waste. It didn't run out of amount. It didn't run out of amount. It's like having 2 eggs and then you break it and you clutch it, and then you take a spoon and then you put one in the pan, and then you bake an egg, cook an egg, whatever you call it. Yeah, whatever. And then you can continually keep on making eggs because it never runs out. That's what Elijah did, and that's what Yahawashi did also. And there was another account, if I'm correct, in the book of Luke chapter 19. Luke 19 and 13. It says, "But he said unto them, Give ye them to eat." Well, it's the same account. And they said, "We have no more but 5 loaves and 2 fishes, except we should go and buy meat for all these people. For there are about 5,000 men. And he said to his disciples, Make them sit down by 50s in the company." So this is another account of it. It's the same story. Let me see. "And they did so and made them all sit down. Then he took the 5 loaves and the 2 fishes and looked up to heaven and blessed them and brake and gave the disciples to set before the multitude. And they did eat and were all filled. And there was taken up of the fragments that remained by them 12 baskets." So what happened? Just the fragments of these, these breadcrumbs, like a little breadcrumb, that made them full. There were little breadcrumbs and stuff like that, and it was infinite. So he kept on breaking, and it never, the supplies didn't run out. The supplies never ran out. Can you imagine that type of power in a time of famine? Everybody gonna call you a god at that day. Here it is, you got 1 loaf of bread and a block of cheese or whatever type of things. I don't know, maybe peanut butter or something, I don't know, maybe chicken, I don't know. And then you just walking around for longer than 3 years, walking around with the same bread, never spoils, just like the flour. And if you didn't know, flour spoils. If you mix flour with water and then you leave it, then it will spoil. It will 100% spoil. But if you leave the flour separated from the water, then it will not spoil. Flour spoils in like a day or 2. If you leave it a day or 2, if mixed with water, you leave it a day or 2, it's gonna start stinking. It's gonna spoil, it's gonna start stinking, and then you gotta throw it away. You can't make that no more. If you make bread with that, that's gonna be some spoiled bread. Now you're gonna have a stomach ache. You might get sick. If your stomach is not that strong, if your stomach acid is not that strong, you might get sick. Right? You might get sick if you're not that strong, but that's why you shouldn't be eating that. That's why you should be doing this. You should be separating the flour from the water. Then it's going to be able to actually be sustained. But anyway, so yeah, man. So basically, I'm gonna leave it with one. I'm telling you, man. Females are looking for dick, man. That's why I'm trying to stay focused, man. Trying to stay focused. You saw me looking at this, but I was like, man, I ain't even want to make eye contact. She bugged out that motherfucker. This female came all the way. She came all the way from there. Started doing her hair here. Stood here. I looked at it. I was like, man, I ain't even want to stare at you. Crazy. Man. Crazy. Easy. was I looking for? I was looking for. Let me see something. Oh yeah, Isaiah 65. Isaiah 65. And let me see. 12. Therefore will I number you to the sword. Oh shit. 13. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh the power, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Let me start at 11. And then I'll read till 14. Right, so it says Isaiah chapter 65, verse 11. It says, but ye are they that forsake Yahweh, that forget my holy mountain, which you're not supposed to be forgetting that you're a Jacob descendant, you're an Israelite. So it says here, that prepare a table for that troop. And what table? If you read the book of Proverbs chapter 9, it's going to show you that what our people was doing, they was actually preparing tables for the heathen gods. It's like a shrine. They was preparing shrines for the heathen gods, and they had like they was throwing drink offerings. They was having meat, food offerings and stuff like that, meat offerings and stuff like that. So they was preparing the table, just like how you have the showbread in the tabernacle. You have the showbread, it's decked up on there. You have the showbread, it's all on the table and stuff like that. You got the food. King David ate the showbread also, which he wasn't allowed to do, but he was allowed to do it to sustain his life, because the Most High allowed him to do that, and all the other men that was with him, which were not Levites, and only the Levites are allowed to even eat that bread. And Malak Dawat didn't get killed, neither did his men. But anyway, that table. So it says here that forget my holy mountain, because they worshipped other gods. Now, if you do that, then you forget Yahweh Bashem Yahshai. So it says that prepare the table for that troop, and that furnish the drink offering unto that number. So them drink offerings was offered unto that number. And what number was it? The thousands of idols that these other heathen dingas had, these heathenistic people had. Because it was the Babylonians that had, like, well, let me read it for you. I'm gonna look it up on Google. How many gods did the Babylonians have? How many gods did the Babylonians worship? Right, so it says here over 3,000. The names of over 3,000 Mesopotamian deities have been recovered from cuneiform text. Something like that. Cuneiform text. Many of these are from lengthy lists of deities compiled by ancient Mesopotamian scribes. The longest of these lists is a Teskenato and Anum, some kind of weird name. A Babylonian scholarly work listing the names of over 2,000 deities. So they had over 3,000 deities that they was worshiping, right? And that's why Yahawashi said, the Most High Yahweh said, he said this, Isaiah 65 and let me see, and 11. But ye are they that forsake Yahweh, and forget my holy mountain, that prepare a table for that troop, and that furnish the drink offering unto that number. So literally, these Israelites, what they was doing, they was actually throwing liquor for nearly the 3,000 deities that they was actually worshiping of the Babylonians. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of liquor too. You know, but they was doing it. They was baking cakes for the idols of the heathen nations. So it says, verse 12. Therefore, because you did that, therefore will I number you to the sword. Because you wanna give the drink offerings in numbers to the heathen nations. Okay, I'm gonna number you for the sword then. Since you wanna number them, you wanna count them all, right? Well, I'm gonna count you to the sword. That's what the Lord said. And ye shall bow down to the slaughter, because when I called, ye did not answer. When I spake, ye did not hear. How does the Lord call? By his men. How does he speak to his men? But did evil befall in mine eyes, and did choose that wherein I delighted not. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh the power, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Since you want to be feeding all these other entities, you want to throw some drink offerings and stuff like that, well, my servants are going to actually have a real drink and have a real a meal while you're going to be starving to death. Right? So it says here, behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. Behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. And ye shall leave your name for a curse unto my chosen, for Yahweh your power, for Yahweh the power shall slay thee, and call his servants by another name. Yeah, man. Yahweh this out, the Most High is going to set us up. He's going to actually define his men. He's going to define them in the eyes of the heathen nations. He's going to sanctify them. He's going to set them apart. He's going to consecrate them. He's going to make them holy. He's going to set them up bigger than what they are right now in the world. Because nobody knows the sons of Yahawashi and Yahawashi, and they don't shine in the eyes of the people of the world. I'm gonna give you an example how the Jacob descendants, the elect men at that time, is gonna shine. Look at these celebrities right about now. Everybody be kissing their asses and stuff like that, but they're regular ass people. Sometimes you might not even like the person that you actually be listening to day and night, night and day. Once you find out how shitty they really truly are, or selfish they really truly are, then you're gonna find out like, man, I don't like this motherfucker, but I like your music. And even then, you might actually back off of that music once you find out how rude or irritating that person is. Or if you how you call that thing? If you found out that they be doing some nasty stuff behind the scenes up in that Hollywood, like this producer that is producing Space Jam, but he was caught lacking with a 15-year-old girl. This guy is 67 years old, and he was buttering her up, talking about, I'm a movie star, so I make movies, So basically hinting her that, hey man, if you let me tap that ass, I'm gonna put you in a movie. You're gonna do great. I'm gonna set you up with all these type of things. That's how they come. They got that old money, handling them cookies out for them little kids and stuff like that. That's what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. So that's what they're doing from the beginning. They've been doing it, and they ain't gonna stop. You know what I'm saying? They was doing it since the ancient Roman days, the ancient Greek days, and nowadays they're doing it again. You know what I'm saying? They was doing it in the cave days too. So they keep on continually doing it until the Most High puts his foot up in their face. And we gonna put our hand up in their neck and our foot up in their neck. But only when Yahweh Yahawashi sanctions it. So with that, I'm gonna say Shalom. All praises go to the Most High Yahweh, Bashem Yahawashi, Bashem Okatakash. Double honor unto the elder apostles at Great Millstone for the teachings of the scriptures and all other things. And Shalom to the sincere Akim across the world. Shalom.